Mark your calendars, Nashville, because the Water Lantern Festival is returning to town on June 27th at 5 p.m. at the Parthenon at Centennial Park. This is one of those really beautiful, family-friendly summer events where you show up, decorate a lantern with a personal message of hope, remembrance, or intention, and then you release it onto the water at sunset and everything lights up together. As part of the 2026 Radiant Tour, this year's event celebrates connection, reflection, and the idea that we shine together. Guests can also enjoy live music, food trucks, and activities for all ages, making it a meaningful and memorable way to spend an afternoon and evening with friends and loved ones. Tickets are available now at waterlanternfestival.com/events/Nashville. And hey, stick around after the episode for a conversation sponsored by the Water Lantern Festival, featuring CityCast content director Andrea Silenzi, talking with Tess Rouser, the festival's marketing manager. Today on CityCast Nashville, with rumors swirling around that comedian Nate Bargatze could be bringing his theme park to Middle Tennessee, we answer a very important question. Where are the best amusement parks within driving distance of Nashville right now? Roller coaster superfan Charlie Weingartner joins us to break down the parks actually worth the gas money, the rides you cannot miss, and why a trip to an amusement park might be the perfect family summer adventure. It's Wednesday, June 3rd. I'm Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. We've got to get this out of the way. The best theme park in Tennessee is Dollywood. Charlie, aside from being the chair of our Vision Zero Advisory Committee, you are also a massive amusement park nerd. Do you agree?
Oh, yes, absolutely. This is actually probably the one constant that has been in my life since I was 6 years old is I'm just the biggest amusement park nerd. And well, I want to say in the entire world. I know some people that are really big nerds too, some really great friends. But yeah, it's a huge passion of mine.
So we're not going to spend too much time on Dollywood because we did just do an episode about it last month, which actually made me talk to Charlie at Fridays by the River and why you're getting this episode today.
It actually is an incredible park for roller coasters and amusements and attractions. I enjoyed the episode, and I do agree that the ambiance and the scenery and the vibes of Dollywood are absolutely incredible. But they do have some amazing rides there too. So I do give them big props and a shout out for that.
Okay, so Dollywood has us driving about 4 hours from Nashville. But Charlie, is there anything closer to us?
As far as really good amusement parks go, Dollywood is probably the closest. There are some that are in kind of the 2 hour, 3 hour range. So those would be, you're heading north. You're going to go towards Santa Claus, Indiana, and go to Holiday World.
Holiday World.
Holiday World is an awesome park. And then also Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville, which is just 3 hours away. So Holiday World, yeah, it's about a 2 hour, 2.5 hour drive. Kentucky Kingdom is just about a 3 hour drive. And both of them are pretty good parks. I mean, Holiday World especially is an incredible park. They only have like 4 big roller coasters, but 3 of them are the best wooden roller coasters in the world. And they also have a really unique launched Boulagere and Malbillard wing coaster, a B&M wing coaster. That's a lot of fun.
What is that?
So
this is some like real amusement park nerd jargon. What is this?
Huge nerd.
I love it.
I'll tie it back to things that people might know. So we were talking about Dollywood. Their Wild Eagle roller coaster that they have that kind of sits in the middle of the park up on top of the hill. That's a B&M wing coaster where the seats sit on the outside of the track. So Holiday World has one like that, except for instead of a standard lift hill where you go, out of the station and clink, 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 clink up to the top, it actually launches you. Lots of fun. But Holiday World also actually has, if water parks are your thing, Holiday World actually has the best water park in the country. It's been voted the best water park time and time again. So if you are looking for a splash oasis, driving up to Holiday World is definitely the way to go. Kentucky Kingdom in Louisville has kind of had an interesting history. They started off on their own as a small park, then were purchased by Six Flags in the mid 90s. Then Six Flags kind of dropped them in the mid 2000s. They closed for a couple of years. And then the original park operator who started it in the 90s bought it back and reopened it. But now, the last couple of years, actually, they are being operated by Hershend, which Hershend is a amusement park operator, and they're actually the group that operates Dollywood. So Dollywood's operations and charm and character are undeniable. And Kentucky Kingdom is kind of growing. They're kind of getting back under their feet again. They're putting in a really nice family suspended roller coaster. And if you've enjoyed Dollywood and thought that it was a really charming little park, Kentucky Kingdom is definitely worth a stop. Holiday World is not completely Santa themed. So they do have the Christmas area of the park, but then they also have a Halloween section, 4th of July section. They have a Thanksgiving section. Each part of the park is kind of interesting and peculiar. Two of their first two wooden roller coasters, the Raven and Legend, are in the Halloween section. So Raven is after Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. The Legend is named after Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane. And then they have the Voyage and Thunderbird, which are their two big roller coasters. They're in the Thanksgiving section. So yeah, different areas based on different holidays. Another great thing about it is since it opened in like 1946, it has been owned and operated by the same family. Really, really cool family. They do awesome and tremendous things kind of in the amusement park space. They've really reestablished hospitality in that area as well. You know, Disney and all that do big hospitality and everything like that, but their big focus is just taking care of people and making sure they have a fun time. The park is immaculately clean. You get free parking. They have free sodas in the park. They offer free sunscreen throughout the park, free lockers. Yeah, it's great.
Free soda.
Free soda.
Feels like the kids would be going crazy.
Well, they do go crazy, but yeah, it really is a great park. And shout out to the Cook family that operate Holiday World. We love them dearly as amusement park nerds.
Well, have there been any important innovations in roller coaster technology in the last few years?
There haven't really been any crazy innovations. Probably the biggest one is the refinement of engineering has gotten a lot better. Probably the most like groundbreaking thing that's happened in the last 30 years has just been the revolution of launched roller coasters, primarily using two different main ways, linear synchronous motors, LSMs, and linear induction motors. LSMs are the more common one. But yeah, kind of just the refinement of roller coaster engineering and making really smooth and fun attractions, but then also bringing all sorts of little quirks and things to it. Tilt tracks where, you know, you'll go up on one level and then you tilt backwards and you end up going down a different track. Switch tracks where, yeah, you'll kind of go forward up a hill and then come back down. You end up going backwards a different direction. Tilt coasters, and it kind of is a similar thing where you go up a standard lift hill up to the top of the lift, and then you basically end up on a seesaw where the entire track disconnects and you rotate 90 degrees forward for a moment before it drops you into the ride.
My stomach just dropped.
So last year was actually the first time that any of those opened up in the United States. The manufacturer who built that, they originally came up with the design almost over 20 years ago, and they built a couple in Asia and in Asia Pacific islands, but none really took off into the United States until recently. Last year, though, two of them opened. One of them is called Siren's Curse at Cedar Point, which I went up and rode last summer, and it is incredible. And then actually at Circuit of the Americas in Texas, the F1 track, they're opening an amusement park there with some rides, and they just opened a version of the Vekoma tilt coaster called Circuit Breaker. So there's now two of those in the United States, which is pretty cool.
It is my absolute favorite time of year again. And if you've never been to Musicians Corner in Centennial Park, now is your time to go. Honestly, there is nothing else like it in Nashville. It's a totally free, multi-genre concert series that's been bringing people together for nearly 2 decades. It's super laid back and family friendly. Bring your dog, bring the kids, throw down a blanket, grab some food, and just hang out while listening to the most incredible live music from local artists and beyond. But here's the kicker, folks. You only have 2 more weekends to check out Musicians Corner, Friday nights and Saturday afternoons through June 13th, with live music, food trucks, artisan vendors, craft beer, wine, cocktails, and more. This week's headliners include the Nashville Symphony on Friday and John Paul White on Saturday. And the final weekend has S.G. Goodman and Grizz Folk, plus many other great musicians. It's produced by the nonprofit Centennial Park Conservancy and supported by CityCast Nashville. Visit musicianscorner.com for the full lineup. Looking for something fun and air-conditioned to do with the kids this summer? At the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, local youth 18 and under always get in free if you live in Davidson or any bordering county, including Williamson, Rutherford, Sumner, Wilson, Robertson, or Cheatham County. Plus, up to 2 accompanying adults can get 25% off admission too. And honestly, they have really loaded up the summer programming this year. Now through August 7th, every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon, they are hosting a musical instrument petting zoo, where kids can try out fiddles, banjos, ukuleles, and more. There are also daily family activities in the Taylor Swift Education Center, plus scavenger hunts, coloring pages, sensory kits, and interactive exhibits throughout the museum. Perfect for curious kids and maybe a few grown-ups too. Learn more and plan your visit at countrymusichall-of-fame.org/local-kids. Summer family getaways are where memories are made. And Tupelo, Mississippi is the perfect place for family fun. Make the journey part of the adventure by driving the historic Natchez Trace Parkway. Or for those families in a hurry to get the fun started, Contour Airlines offers daily flights from Nashville to Tupelo. Once you arrive, the outdoors are calling. Spend the day fishing, kayaking, or hiking at Tom Bigby State Park. Or meet more than 260 animals at the Tupelo Buffalo Park and Zoo, where every turn brings a new wild encounter. And when it's time to refuel, Tupelo has over 200 restaurants and 3 shopping districts. So go ahead, visit tupelo.net to plan your epic family getaway and imagine what you can do here. How old were you when you stopped being like, yay, I love roller coasters too. I want to know about the engineering of these things?
So I grew up in Southwest Ohio. So I grew up going to Kings Island, which is another park that we should definitely talk about in a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I fell in love with them when I was 6, and it pretty immediately became also an obsession with learning about the engineering. I'm not sure why, probably just like my predisposed nature to liking engineering things, but I got into it really quickly, right? They're basically any type of roller coaster emulator that you can find to like design your own. I was doing that. I even as a kid was writing letters to roller coaster designers in Germany and things like yeah. A huge nerd.
It's cool. It's cool, Charlie. I think
cool.
It's really cool, actually.
Yeah. I wanted to design roller coasters like throughout my kind of entire childhood. And then I realized I enjoy math, but not that much. And so now I just, nerd out about them and go to parks and have fun. And I can appreciate the science and engineering behind them as much as the thrill that I get, but I don't have to sit there and do all the equations.
Well, let's get into more of your favorites. You mentioned Holiday World and Kentucky Kingdom. Are there any other options if we want a classic amusement park as a day trip from Nashville?
So 2 more that are a little bit further and realistically just about the same drive as Dollywood, Kings Island in Cincinnati, and then Six Flags Over Georgia in Atlanta. Both are really good parks. If I had to choose one, and this isn't just me because I grew up going to Kings Island, I would definitely say Kings Island. About 2 years ago, 2 big regional amusement park companies, Cedar Fair and Six Flags merged and just became Six Flags. So Kings Island was on the Cedar Fair side. Six Flags Over Georgia is, of course, on the Six Flags side. But Kings Island is known to be one of the best all-around amusement parks, regional amusement parks in the United States, right? Like it doesn't compare to Disney and Universal and things like that. But as far as good operations, they keep the line moving. The rides are open regularly. It's clean. The food is good. You really can't beat Kings Island. It is known to be one of the best. They have an extraordinary collection of roller coasters and flat rides. They also have a pretty good water park. They, for the longest time, were voted one of the best kids parks and kids areas. Six Flags Over Georgia is going to be your more standard Six Flags park. Operations are going to be a little bit rougher, but they do have some really, really great thrill rides there too, and a unique collection of things to do there. So it depends on if you want to head to Atlanta or head to Cincinnati. Those would be my other two big recommendations.
Okay, as an expert, do you recommend folks getting like the fast passes? Those are a big thing these days, right?
Fast passes are a big thing. It depends when you're going. What I would recommend is there's a website called q-times.com. So QUEUE-times.com. If you go to their parks and click on one of their parks, you can look at a calendar and it tells you the expected level of how busy it's going to be that during that day. So if it's going to be 30% full, 40% full, 60, 70, 80. If you can schedule and plan to go to a park on a day, usually midweek, where the lines aren't going to be long, that calendar is going to tell you that it's going to be pretty light, I wouldn't spend the money. If you only have one day to go to a park, you only go to a park one day a year, right? And it's going to have to be on a weekend, a Saturday or Sunday, it's going to be busy. If you can afford it, I have no qualms with buying a fast pass to, make sure you're getting your money's worth for the day. One of the unfortunate things about being in Middle Tennessee is we do have a lot of great parks within driving distance. Some of them are long day trips. Some of them you can go and spend the day at a park and then get a quick hotel and come back the next day. Without one being in our back door, we kind of miss the opportunity and the perks of having a season pass where you can just go anytime and you can be like, oh, if I have to skip that ride today because the line's long, it's okay. I can come back in a week or two and get to enjoy it. So yeah, if you're only going once and you got to do it on a weekend, fast passes can be the way to go.
Where would you recommend folks actually driving to, spending the night?
If you want a big trip, the big park to go to regionally, kind of in this part of the country, would be to go up to Sandusky and go to Cedar Point. It's going to be about an 8-hour drive. It's going to be a weekend.
Okay.
But it is considered to have arguably the best roller coaster collection in the world. So
only 8 hours from Nashville?
8 hours from Nashville. Probably the best roller coaster collection in the world. Another one would also be about 8 hours away. Charlotte also has another really great park, and that's called Carowinds. But honestly, if you are looking to do like a 4 hour, stay within 4.5 hours, my big two would be Dollywood and Kings Island in Cincinnati.
Well, then maybe you've already answered this question for us, but I wanted to ask, if you could only go to one amusement park for the rest of your life, where are you going?
Yeah, it's Kings Island. and part of that is nostalgia, and part of it is because I truly think, and this is, I wish I had another fellow roller coaster nerd on here with me to corroborate this, but it really is a great park. Great operations, great staff, great rides, great shows. They just reopened or reimagined a ride from my childhood, a dark ride called Phantom Theater, which was their own intellectual property. It's been closed for like 20 years. So I'm excited later this summer to go ride that and get that nostalgia hit. The ride that they're most famous for at Kings Island is The Beast.
Yes.
Yeah, R.L. Stine wrote some books about The Beast. It's an old wooden roller coaster that opened in 1978. And they also have another wooden roller coaster that opened in 1972 called The Racer, which kind of respawned the current day and age of roller coaster and amusement park fandom. But they spend a lot of time and money taking care of their rides too. So even their old rides are still really good. And a lot of parks, unfortunately, They'll install a brand new ride. It's a huge capital investment, but then they don't have a good operational balance that they keep things in good running order. Kings Island really spends the time and the effort to make sure their old rides are still high caliber.
I need to reclaim my experience at Kings Island because the last time I was there was when I was very young for youth group. We took a field trip up there. I had glasses. I took my glasses off while I was riding one of the rides, gave them to my sister. And then after the ride, I could not find her. So I spent half of my time there because my eyesight is so bad. I could not see anything. And I spent half of my time there just trying to find my sister. I need to go back with my contact lenses.
I will go with you. I've got a trip planned to be there in... Actually, I think it's 2 months to the day is when I'm planning.
Okay, we're counting down then.
Yeah, exactly.
Reclaim my trauma. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we want to get your read on something here in Nashville. It has been announced that comedian Nate Bargatze has secured land here for his very own theme park, Nateland. He grew up going to Opryland and wants to bring family-friendly fun back to the city. Charlie, what are your first thoughts on this?
I would love an amusement park in Middle Tennessee. It would bring so much joy to me. Do you know where his land supposedly that he secured is?
It's a secret.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. So I'm curious how close to Nashville. Are we traveling a little bit? We don't know yet. I know it's 100 acres.
Yeah. So I'm a little hesitant to believe that it's actually going to happen. And I say that because I've now lived in Middle Tennessee for 24 years, and there have been a number of people and groups and organizations that have said that they want to bring amusement park to Nashville, and it's never happened. I do think that having someone such as he, a celebrity, a recognizable face as far as like drawing investors and X, Y, and Z is certainly helpful. And I hope that pushes it across the finish line. The Nateland aspect of it, I don't really care as long as they have fun rides. It's just hard. No one is really opening regional amusement parks anymore. They're kind of closing, and there's a consolidation. Kind of, as I said, Cedar Fair and Six Flags consolidated. Really, the only park that's open that I can think of, like a regional theme park, was a place called Lost Island in Waterloo, Iowa, and they opened in 2022. But they'd been running a water park for over 20 years. It's a lot of capital expense to open one. Getting land, right? Middle Tennessee land values are incredibly high. I really hope it happens. I would love to see it. I give him my blessing and good luck and best wishes, and I will be there probably opening day if it happens. And I know he's working with Storyland Studios who have done some really cool projects. They kind of do like theme park planning, ride planning, that kind of stuff. They don't really have an engineering department to like design roller coasters, but nonetheless, fingers crossed. I would love it.
Final question. Are amusement parks really that much fun nowadays? Or are we just nostalgic for our childhoods?
It's one of those things that it can be tough as an adult. And I think part of that is because we all get so busy with our lives, right? That unless it's something that you're really tied to, you don't often think of it as something that you would go and do for fun. People tend to get more motion sickness as they get older. And that's actually because the inner ear bone, the muscle is actually a muscle that you have to train to prevent motion sickness. So I think a lot of people, as they get older, kind of get turned off from going to amusement parks. There also was a trend for a while where operators just didn't really take care of their parks well. There was a huge push in the late 90s and early 2000s to just build the tallest, fastest, longest, and that really drove people through the gate. That eventually died out, and operators really had to figure out, and they're still figuring out, how to get people to go back again. The way you got to do it is with good operations. And so that's one of the things that I keep talking about. Like, the thrills aside, great operations are what makes a great park. So places like Dollywood and places like Kings Island are really doing a great job. And I don't think it is nostalgia. You can really go and have a great time at parks that are doing it right. I support people, if it's been a while since you've been to a park, go to one, have a good time. even if you're not a huge thrill ride junkie, there are flat rides and shows and everything that the previous episode which was excellent, by the way, that y'all talked about with Dollywood, right? You can go around and you can find blacksmiths and you can find artists. Most parks have those types of activities. So find one, enjoy it, have a good time. If you didn't have a good time, you can call me and yell at me, or I'll go with you and show you what you're missing. I'll explain it to you, right?
All right. Our personal amusement park tour guide here on CityCast Nashville. Charlie, this has been so fun and so great for the summer because I know parents are always looking for things to do with their kids. And what better way to throw them around in a roller coaster?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. I'll see you in Kings Island in July. Hey, don't go anywhere. In just a second, we have a segment sponsored by the Water Lantern Festival featuring CityCast content director Andrea Salensi, talking with Tess Rouser, the festival's marketing manager.
Hey, CityCast content director Andrea Salensi here. There are some things we do outside that I look forward to all year long. Picking apples in the fall, winter light shows, food festivals on a really hot summer night. And I'm here to suggest a new tradition you're going to have to experience for yourself. Releasing a glowing lantern into the water at sunset, right in the middle of your beautiful city, surrounded by hundreds of your neighbors doing the exact same thing. That's what I'm talking about today with Tess Rouser, the marketing manager for the Water Lantern Festival. Hey, Tess.
Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Oh, I'm so excited for folks to picture what this festival really looks like. So the Water Lantern Festival happens in cities all over the country. If you're hearing this, it's coming to your city soon. So for someone who's never been, what is it actually like to be there?
The Water Lantern Festival isn't your typical festival. Yes, when you arrive, there are food trucks and local vendors. There's family activities, games going on, a scavenger hunt. It's very lively, fun, upbeat music going on. But the event definitely turns inward and more reflective as the night goes on. It really pivots and the music changes and the whole vibe changes. So it's almost the best of both worlds. Guests are encouraged to write on their lanterns and everyone gathers by the water at sunset to release their lanterns. That's definitely the peak of the event. Watching hundreds or even sometimes thousands of lanterns on the water is incredibly peaceful and emotional. People often tell us that it's a moment that stays with them long after the night ends.
So everyone who attends gets to personalize their own lantern before releasing it in the water. What have you seen people write or draw on their lanterns?
Yes, so each ticket comes with a lantern that comes with everything you'll need for the evening. Your markers, the biodegradable paper that you can write on or design. And that's one of the most important parts of the event. People write, all kinds of things. Messages of love or hope or remembrance or gratitude, or sometimes people are setting intentions or goals for what they want to do that year. More of a personal story for me. I lost my nephew 3 years ago, and there was a lantern festival near me on his angelversary 2 years after. And it was the most incredible and meaningful experience that I was able to have with my family, where we came and remembered him and honored him and shared stories about him and released it onto the water in a glowing just moment of remembrance. But honestly, we see so many things. We see lots of proposals. There's nothing like seeing someone down on one knee proposing in front of just thousands of lanterns on the water. So it's fun because every lantern tells a personal story, but when they're released together, it becomes a meaningful and powerful shared moment.
So it's shared grief or shared celebration. It's kind of all of it.
It is. It's all of it. You'll see names, you'll see dates, hearts, drawings, but even sometimes just a single word that holds a lot of meaning.
So when you look out at the crowd at one of these festivals, what do you see? Is this families, couples? Who's the attendee?
It's really a diverse crowd, which is something we absolutely love. You'll see the families with kids, couples, friends groups, lots of girls' nights with their charcuterie boards and blankets and pillows that they've brought to set up camp for the night. There isn't one type of attendee, and that's something we absolutely love. So it definitely brings together people from all walks of life.
Can you give me the scale of Water Lantern Festival? Like, how long has this been going on? How many cities have you been to? How many people have released a lantern into the water?
Yes, we actually just surpassed our 2 million lanterns being released into the water. So the largest lantern festival of its kind. We've been in business for 9 years. So what started as just a small community gathering has expanded and grown to over 175 different cities, nationwide and now worldwide, expanding into Australia, Canada, the UK, Mexico here in a few weeks. So it's really fun to be able to bring this experience of love and hope and connection to the world.
Is there anything else someone should know before they get their ticket? Any tips for attending?
I'd encourage people to come with an open heart and to give themselves time to enjoy the experience from start to finish. It's not meant to be a fast-paced event. It's meant to slow you down and create space for that reflection and connection. So it's always a good idea to come early so you can still hit the food trucks, the music, the vendors, the booths, the scavenger hunt, but then still have time to sit and personalize your lantern and just take everything in and turn more inward.
Tess, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Andrea.
If you want to find a water lantern festival near you and grab tickets, just head to waterlanternfestival.com. You can search for your city there, and it's a good idea to get your tickets in advance since many events do sell out. And for the latest updates, you can follow them on social media at Water Lantern Festival. Thanks for listening.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our CityCast Nashville newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Doodles!